Hello everyone, me Archana Kunal and my team member Van Bag. We are here for the presentation on the topic contributing to personal security policies and training and awareness. At first, let's talk about the human behaviors. Humans are the threats to the securities. Humans are the security policymakers as well as they are the cause of the security risks. So, the human behavior should be kept in mind while implementing the security policies. Different mechanisms can be used to secure a personnel. The 6 different ways of securing a personnel are discussed in this project, and these are employment candidate screening, employment agreement and policies, employment termination process, vendor, consultant and contractor controls, compliance and privacy. And the basic requirement for the implementation of the security policy is awareness and training. Let's start from the first way of securing a personnel, and it is employment candidate screening. Mainly based on the sensitivity and classification defined on the job description, candidate screening for the specific position is done. Pre- and post-employment background checks can provide an employer with valuable information about an individual whom an organization is considering for a job or position within an organization. Verification of qualifications and inquiries is necessary for the trustworthiness and suitability of all the employees. The second way is employment agreement and policies. Employment agreement is a document which includes the rules, security policy, violations and consequences, etc. of the company. It is signed by the new hired employee. The key threat to information security comes from the employees who do not comply with the information security policies. A new multi-theory based model that explained employees' adherence to security policy was developed. Some of the employment policies might include internet acceptable use, social media policy, mobile and personal device use such as bring your own device. I think every one of us is clear about the VYOD. And the third step is employment termination process. Procedures should be developed for various scenarios including resignations, termination, layoffs, accident or death, immediate departure versus prior notifications, and hostile situations. During the termination process, witness must be placed. Employees' account related to organization must be disabled. Identification, SS cards, keys, etc. must be taken away from the employee. For timely and complete separation, a termination process of employment is necessary. The fourth way is vendor, consultant and contractor controls. These are used to define the level of performance, expectation, compensation and consequences, etc. for entities that are external to primary organizations. Information security policy and procedures must address outsourcing, security and the use of vendors or consultants when appropriate. These can be helpful to ensure that the organizations are providing the agreed level of services to the customers. Next mechanism is compliance. It is the way of attaching to the rules, policies and regulations of the organizations. It relates to whether the employee follows the rules and policies of the organizations or not. The employee must adhere to the company policy and perform their job tasks in accordance to job procedure. Sign statements that attest to an individual's understanding, acknowledgement and agreement to comply may be appropriate for certain regulations and policies. Last but not the least way of securing is privacy. Privacy could be the way of remaining away from being monitored without one's knowledge. There should be the balance between the individual rights and the rights of the organization. In other words, privacy is the act of preventing the unauthorized access to information which is directly linked with the person or organization. The user's privacy will be vulnerable to social networking services in both active and passive manners. Consequently, both users and organizations should protect their personal information in any possible case. For the proper implementation of those security policies, the basic requirement is awareness and training. These are needed before the implementation of the security. Awareness is required to understand the baseline of the security policy and make it a recognized entity for all the users. Posters, notices, articles, presentation, etc. could be some of the methods of creating the awareness. Training is the process of teaching employees to perform their work tasks and to comply with the security policy. All new employees need to be trained before the start of the work so that they can be familiar with the standards, policies, and guidelines of the organizations. Now let's summarize all the topics that are included in today's presentations. Employment candidate screening, background checks, education checks are necessary in proving that a candidate is qualified and trustworthy for a position. One of the policy could be non-disclosure agreement. It is another agreement which restricts the former employee to share any information regarding the organization with the outside world. Depending on the employee, calm or violent reactions may come during the process of termination. So the HR and security department should go hand in hand to minimize the risks. An exit interview is necessary as soon as possible. Vendors and consultants are an important part of risk avoidance since everyone knows about the consequences in case of failure of the agreement of services. It enhances to improve the security and services of the organization. Quality, efficiency, cost, etc. of the organization depends on the compliance of the employee. Reputation, market share, etc. of the organization can decrease if the compliance is not maintained. Protecting individuals from unwanted observation, direct marketing and disclosure of private, personal or confidential details is usually considered a great effort of privacy. Awareness and training regarding the policies is necessary for the successful implementation of security policy. That's all for today. Thank you.